Hi viewers, hope everyone are doing good. At this moment, it is really a wonderful opportunity for all of us to learn not only the subject matters but also the tools useful for connecting the people. There is a famous saying by Donna: online learning is not the next big thing, it is now the big thing. So, through this online platform, we are going to have a series of lectures pertaining to the course protection switchgear and the relevant topics. So for the benefit of the viewers and for an effective interaction between us, I have given the link at the end of each lecture modules for all of us to post the queries and suggestions if any. Now we'll see the first lecture module, lecture 5.1 from the chapter 5 of the course protection switchgear. The topic is circuit breaker and its types. These are all the different topics we are going to have for the discussion today. First, we'll start with the learning outcomes of the presentation, and we'll see the introduction of power system protection and different terminologies. And obviously, we know there is out formation when we discuss about the circuit breaker. We'll see about the arc interruption theories, and we'll have an introduction of circuit breaker, construction and working of the circuit breakers, and we'll see the different types of circuit breakers according to many parameters. Finally, we'll summarize the presentation. Let's move on to the first topic, that is what are the learning outcomes we'll have at the end of the presentation. So all the learners at the end of the presentation, they'll be able to understand the importance of protection system and the related terms. They'll be able to understand the arc interruption principles. They'll be able to familiar with the construction and working of the working of the circuit breakers, and the learners will be able to understand the different categories of circuit breakers according to different parameters. Let's move on to the first topic, that is the introduction. We'll first discuss about the need for power system protection. Why we need to have the protection for the power system? In order to isolate the components which is working abnormally beyond its normal operation. If any component is working, that component should be isolated in order to safeguard the healthy system and to detach the faulty section. As you know, the power systems are different, segregated in different sections. It has many important components. So the faulty section should be isolated, detached from the healthy portion. For that, we need to have the protection system and to prevent the subsequent fault in the healthy system and to avoid the spreading of the faults to the healthy places, and finally to improve the reliability and stability of the power system, we need to have the protection for the power system. Then what is the switchgear, which we need to understand first? It is an apparatus used for controlling, regulating, switching on and off of the electrical circuits. The main objective of having the switch gears are for de-energizing the equipments for different purposes, wide testing purpose and for maintenance, and at the occurrence of fault, that fault should be cleared. During that moment also we need to de-energize the equipment. So for the de-energizing purpose, we are using the switch gears. Switch gear, it is not a simple or one component. All the components like fuses, circuit breakers, isolators, relays, and the current transformers, potential transformers, and so on will come under the switchgear category. And the protection system, it will consist of the different blocks, different major components. It is categorized as sensing devices, relays, tripping circuit, and finally the circuit breaker. Any protection system will have all these four, out of which the tripping circuit is optional in some of the cases. What we use these current transformers, potential transformers, any transducers, what we use for sensing the actuating quantity like either current or frequency, anything that will be a sensing device, and we'll be using different relays according to the need. It may be either electromechanical, electromagnetic, static, or numerical relays we can use. And tripping circuit is the main circuit that will initiate the isolation through circuit breaker. As you can see from the diagram shown below, the current transformer is the sensing device CT that is mentioned as CT in the diagram. That is a sensing device which senses the current, that gives a signal to the relay coil. If that relay coil is energized, that will close the tripping circuit, which is connected with the battery circuit there. That tripping coil, once it is energized by the relay coil, that will initiate the braking operation through circuit breaker. So it is overall called as, this particular system overall it is called as protection system. And before going in deep to the circuit breaker and all its types, we need to understand the different parameters. First, this is the arc voltage. What is the arc voltage? It is a voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts when the arc persists across the terminals. This voltage becomes the system voltage once the arc is extinguished. Next is the restriking voltage. It is nothing but the transient voltage, oscillating voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts at the instant of arc extinction. So once the restriking voltage is formed and the arc has been quenched, this restriking voltage will not come into the normal operation or normal cycle instantaneously. It won't come to normal cycle instantaneously, but once after few cycles only, it will come into normal frequency or normal operation. This is called as the recycling voltage. Next, we will see the recovery voltage. It is the normal power frequency voltage. Previously, we have seen the recycling voltage, that is the transient voltage. It is a power frequency voltage, again that appears across the circuit breaker contacts after the final arc has been extinguished. So all these voltages we can see from this diagram. So arc voltage, it causes for the disturbance, and we are able to see the system voltage, system current, and at the instant of arc extinction we are able to see a spike that is called recycling voltage, and it will oscillate for some moment. And recovery voltage is the power frequency voltage, as you could see from the diagram shown. And we need to understand different arc interruption theories, that those theories will explain about the arc interruption or current zero interruption. So the arc interruption has been explained by two theories. One is recovery rate theory, another one is energy balance theory. Recovery rate theory is proposed by Slepians. Fundamentally, we should understand the arc is nothing but a column of ionized gases. Once the arc has been formed between the contacts of the circuit breaker, moving contact and fixed contact, and the medium in between the contacts would get ionized. So because of the ionization process, we are able to get the arc. If once the arc is interrupted, how the arc is interrupted, how the arc can be quenched, it is based on the rate of arc formation or the rate of ionization and the rate at which you are trying to interrupt the arc. If the arc interruption rate is faster, arc will be quenched, or if the rate of ionization is faster, arc cannot be quenched. So it will be able to understand by two phenomenon. One is dielectric strength, another one is reshaping voltage. As you could see from the first diagram, if the dielectric strength of the media connecting fixed contact and moving contact the circuit breaker, R can be quenched only if the dielectric strength is more than the recycling voltage. Just recall what is recycling voltage. It is the transient voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts at the instant of arc extinction. So it is going to be a huge oscillating voltage. If the dielectric strength of the medium is more or dominating than the recycling voltage, definitely the arc can be quenched immediately. If not, if the recycling voltage is more than the dielectric strength of the media, means your dielectric strength of the medium is poor than the recycling voltage, will not be able to quench the arc. The next theory, that is energy balance theory, or Cauchy's theory. It tells about based on the power dissipation or the heat dissipation. Once the arc is formed in between the contacts, due to the ionization process, that those ionized gas formed in between the circuit breaker contacts is providing some resistance to the arcing current. So the current flowing through this resistance will cause for obviously the power dissipation. This power which is caused by the arc resistance would be zero at the initial stage, and the power again becomes zero at the once the complete deionization is happening, right? So at the initial stage and at the final stage, the power dissipation would be zero, as you could see from the figure shown below. In between, from initial and final stage, there will be a increase in the power dissipation. So the energy balance theory explains the arc interruption, how the arc can be interrupted based on the heat generation and the heat dissipation. It is summarizing that it is the race between the heat dissipation and the heat generation. So if the heat generator is more than the rate of heat dissipation, the arc cannot be quenched, or will be again formed, because more and more heats are generated and you are not able to interrupt the arc or quench the arc between the circuit breaker contact. Otherwise, if the heat generator is less than the rate of heat dissipation, arc will be easily quenched. So these are the two theorems, arc quenching or arc interruption theorems, which explain how the arcs can be interrupted. Next, move on to the circuit breaker and the introductory fundamental concepts of circuit breaker. So circuit breakers are the mechanical devices or mechanical switching devices. It consists of various components. The major components of the circuit breaker are the contact system, which consists of moving contact, fixed contact, and the opening mechanism. So the contacts, fixed and moving contacts, are made of copper material, and the tip of the contacts are made from silver, because we need to have the low contact resistance. The circuit breaker can either make the circuit or break the circuit manually or automatically under any situation, either no load condition or full load condition or short circuit condition. Our circuit breaker can make the circuit or break the circuit. So it is not like fuses or isolators and so on. Such a wonderful capacity or the capability the circuit breaker has, it can break or make the circuit at any situation. The breaking or interruption action becomes difficult because of the formation of the arc. So in order to avoid the high risk of electrical fires, electrocution and electrical shocks, obviously we need to have the circuit breakers as a part of protection system in the power system. Next, we'll see the different types of circuit breakers. Circuit breakers are classified based on different parameters, different categories. First, based on the operating voltage of the circuit breaker, at which voltage the particular circuit breaker is being put into operation. It is classified as low voltage circuit breaker, medium voltage, high voltage, extra high voltage, and ultra high voltage circuit breakers. As you can see on the right hand side, low voltage circuit breaker can be used up to voltage less than or equal to 1 kV system. Wherever we have the 1 kV or less voltage capacity voltage rating, we can prefer to have the low voltage circuit breaker. On the top of all those four images, we can see one circuit breaker that we can use in the domestic application, that is less than 1 kV capacity. Likewise, we can have the medium voltage circuit breakers for the voltage ranging from 1 kV to 52 kV. Meanwhile, high voltage circuit breaker can be used for the voltage range 66 to 220 kV, and extra high voltage circuit breaker beyond that, that is 300 kV to 765 kV. Beyond 765 kV, we need to use the ultra high voltage circuit breakers. And the next classification is based on the installation location where we are locating the circuit breakers. It is classified as indoor circuit breakers and outdoor circuit breakers. The third and fourth uh, figure shown on the right hand side are the indoor and outdoor circuit breakers respectively. Next category is based on the external design, how we are installing the circuit breaker in a field or in a particular system. It is classified as a dead tank circuit breaker or live tank circuit breaker, whether you are keeping the circuit breaker at the ground potential or above the ground potential with the help of an insulator, that is classified as a dead tank or live tank circuit breaker. And finally, the major classification is based on the or quenching medium used. Either you can use air or oil or vacuum or sulfur hexafluoride, SF6 circuit breaker. So these are the different categories, different types of circuit breakers we can use in our power system. So now we have come to the end of the presentation. We need to summarize the presentation. In this presentation, we have discussed about the protection system. What is the need of protection system? It is needed to isolate the component which is working abnormally, or detach the faulty section from the healthy system, so that the healthy system can be safeguarded and all the equipments placed in the healthy system, healthy places, can be safeguarded. Or protection systems are needed to avoid the spreading of the fault. Finally, it is used for improving the reliability and stability of the power system. And we have seen what is a switch gear. It is nothing but an apparatus used for de-energizing the equipment for testing, maintenance, or fault clearance purpose. The example of the circuit breakers are fuses, circuit breaker, relays, and CTs, PTs are all the few examples of switch gear. And we have seen the components of protection system are the sensing devices, followed by the relays. That relay will operate, that will trigger the tripping circuit. Tripping circuit will initiate the tripping operation through circuit breakers. So the major components or major blocks involved in protection system are sensing devices, relays, tripping circuits, and circuit breakers. These are things we have seen through this presentation. And we have seen different terms: arc voltage, recycling voltage, and recovery voltage. To recall what is arc voltage, we discussed about it is a voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts. when the arc is present. And recycling voltage, it is voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts at the instant of arc extinction. It is nothing but a transient voltage. The recovery voltage is a power frequency voltage, not like the recycling voltage. The power frequency voltage that appears across the circuit breaker contacts after the final arc is extinguished. Next, what we discussed are the arc interruption theories, recovery rate theory, energy balance theory. So we have seen the recovery voltage theory explains that it is the race between dielectric strength of the media or recycling voltage, which dominates the other. Based on that, the arc can be interrupted or not. To recall, if the dielectric strength of the medium used in the circuit breaker is more than the recycling voltage, R can be quenched. Uh, the for the other way, R cannot be quenched. That is what we have seen. From the energy balance theory, we have seen it is the race between the heat generator and heat dissipated. So those two theories explained about the arc interruption principle. And we have seen the introduction of circuit breaker, why we need circuit breaker, and mainly it is having different applications, everything. And different the construction of circuit breaker and its working, we have seen it needs to have moving contact, fixed contact, and the opening mechanism, all that we have seen. And the different types of circuit breakers based on the voltage, based on the installation location, based on the external design, and finally the arc quenching medium. Most of the literatures are in the books. The types of circuit breakers are discussed mostly based on the arc quenching medium. To recall, based on the voltage, the circuit breakers are classified as low voltage circuit breaker, medium voltage, high voltage, extra high voltage, ultra high voltage, up to 765 or above. And based on the installation location, it is classified as indoor, outdoor circuit breakers. And based on the external design, we have seen the dead tank, live tank circuit breakers. And based on the medium used for the arc quenching purpose, whether we use air, oil, or vacuum, or SF6 as the quenching media, the circuit breakers are classified. So what next? In the next lecture, we'll discuss in detail about the different categories of circuit breaker and all its working principle, everything. As we know already, the circuit breakers are mainly classified based on the arc quenching media. That we will discuss in the next coming lecture modules. As I already mentioned, for the benefit of the viewers and learners, and to have an effective interaction, you can click the link given here and post your queries or suggestions if any. Till then, keep learning. Thank you, viewers.